the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on this Thursday morning. We're glad that you've joined us wherever it is that you tune us in. We're glad that you make Auburn Blitz part of your content watch and listen each and every day. Make sure you hit like on there and pass the word along. If you have not subscribed, if you're watching for the first time or the second time or the 10th time, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We would really, really appreciate it. Randy, good to see you here on a Thursday morning. A lot to talk about, man, a lot of moving pieces. This is the busiest time of year, I think, in sports, spring. You got a lot of things colliding, things ending, things in the middle, things beginning, all kind of stuff, football, baseball, softball, basketball. It just never stops. So I'll start with a couple of things. We're going to talk about Auburn had another guy in the transfer portal for basketball, a must need there. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. It broke while we were on the show, so that was good, but we didn't get a chance to really dive into it, so we'll come back and hit that up. For football portal needs, we'll obviously talk about that until the window closes and Auburn picks up whoever they feel like they need to get. But one guy that you and I watched in high school that we felt like was coming along and heard some positive comments about in spring that's no longer with Auburn now, got in the portal, Braden Joyner from Auburn High School. Just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on him jumping in the portal.
Well, I always liked him in high school. I know he was coached by one of the best coaches we have here in the state of Alabama with Keith Etheridge. And, I think that he's one of those guys, though, that he's moved over to center, Brett, which is a perfect position for him.
Right.
I think it gives him he's what, maybe 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah, they got him listed at 6'2", but I don't, I've been around him.
I've been around him a good bit. He's plenty size-wise. He's an unbelievable athlete for his size. But he's not as tall as some of the other linemen that you'll see. So I think center is a perfect position for him. So I think this is just one of those deals where Brady's got Connor Lew in front of him.
Right.
And he's at a position of need probably for some other teams. And he senses that. And he's taken the opportunity to jump in the portal to see if he can jump on a team where he can be an immediate starter. And I can't blame the kid. I think he had a great year last year, was probably ahead of schedule for Auburn when they signed him. Everybody that I've ever talked to, and I'll speak for you here, coaches, players that have been around, and he's got great leadership qualities, very likable young man. So I think he'll end up at a school and he'll get an opportunity to start and probably have an immediate impact. So sometimes those moves aren't negative either way. And this is one of those situations where I sense that it's not a negative move. It's just a move where you can get an opportunity to get on the field.
Yeah, I think you are, pretty much summed it up. I think he was a kid at the time, and as rosters progress and you add, and Auburn has upgraded their roster, I think that's the biggest takeaway from everybody I've talked to is, especially from Saturday, is looking at who we have on the field, and it looks different than it did 2 years ago, and it better because we're trying to get better and we're trying to improve the overall quality. It's not a cut on anybody, but Randy, it's like me and you on a basketball team, and maybe one year, that's the best that coach could get. And then you bring in Michael Jordan the next year, and one of us is going to the bench. If not both of us is going to the bench. It's not a cut on us, but we're just not as good as that guy. And so we all know about intangibles too. And you just mentioned it. It's the one thing that gets brought up, especially with offensive linemen. And size-wise, weight-wise, I think he was fine. Height-wise, it does matter sometimes because you're going up against some of these guys on the defensive front that are massive. And, you can say what you want to. Intangibles are part of the scouting process, and you're always trying to get the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, and you have a prototype of what you look for in guys. And yes, I think he would have been fine at Auburn, but I do think this is what you get. You saw 3 guys get in the portal from the secondary. Why did they get in the portal? Why did Terrence Love get in the portal? Why did J.C. Hart? Not that they weren't good players. It's just you upgraded your roster, and maybe some guys have jumped over you. And that's just the way it is.
And that part of the transfer portal is a good thing. Because you don't want to see somebody. I'll be honest, I wouldn't want to be one as long as I have other options, and you've got to be smart enough to know whether you have the leverage or not. And I sense Braden Joyner's got the leverage. I do. I think you turn the film on him. You go back to his high school days. You see extreme athleticism on the offensive front. You see somebody get after it. He's an affable young man. When you get in front of him, you want to be around him. So not all things are negative. Sometimes moving on is best for both parties. And I sense that here. I bet Auburn hates to lose him. He's
a great kid too.
He's a player that you want in your program. But look, you and I call high school ball. We have been for 20 plus years. The best high school offensive lineman I've seen was the exact same size as Braden Joyner and Daniel Bland. Three-time state champion heavyweight in Alabama, went to wrestle in college. I thought he could have been a very, very special center, but he had to play offensive tackle in high school, the same as Braden Joyner had to, matched up where he was. So it doesn't mean there's a negative one way or another. There just is a perfect world here, and I think Braden Joyner's moved to the right position, Brett. I bet we'll look back at this and go, man, he had a great college career and he picked the right spot. That's what I sense will happen here.
Yeah, I think you brought up the positive of the portal. Here's a downside of the portal. You've worked and you tried to develop, and he's been here, and he's a depth piece, and now you don't have him anymore. So you go back to I'm out here trying to add to my roster. All while I'm gone, somebody's leaving out the back door of the house, and then you get back to the house, you're like, well, crap, now I got to go try to build that. This is a precarious situation for coaches trying to manage these rosters now, because people can come and go, and you feel really comfortable with a position group. Then you look up and 2 or 3 of them leave. They may not have been your starters, but they were really quality depth pieces. Now you look up and you go, okay, my starters are still good, but if one of them happens to go down, what are we going to do? You're going to have a drop off because that guy that we were depending on to be a depth piece isn't there anymore.
Well, I don't know if you saw Josh Pate's interview with Kirby Smart last week, but I thought it was dead on. The point he made, Kirby just said, look, at this point, I'm not asking for the world. I just want to know who I've got here, if they're going to be with me in the fall.
Bingo.
Bingo. That's simple. Like, if I'm working with you in the spring and I'm spending X amount of time and my coaches are spending X amount of time and my weight room staff is spending X amount of time with you, and nutrition is spending X amount of time.
It's work wasted, man. It's work.
Can I count on you to be here in the fall where we can count you, even if you're not a starter, you're a backup, but you're a vital piece to what we're trying to build here? And that would be the very difficult part of being a coach during this day and age, is because there are no parameters out there, Brett. There are no lines in the sand that you can't cross. Hell, you just do whatever you want. It's just open-ended. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'll bring it up here. I personally love Cam Newton's new podcast. If you watched much of it,
I've seen some of it. Yeah, I've seen it.
He is. I know he's not for everybody, but he's for me.
Well, he's eccentric, man. He's eccentric.
But he can shoot it straight. Some guys just have the knack of being able to tell it like they think it
like
is.
The take on Nico yesterday.
I thought it was a wonderful take on Nico. And I thought that he was mainly speaking to high school age kids and early college age kids that have these handlers. And sometimes the handlers aren't the main ones that you need to be.
You're taking advice from people. You better understand who you're taking advice from.
I thought it was a really good take. If you didn't see it out there, please do. And if you haven't found his, was it 4th and 1?
4th and 1. Yep.
If you haven't watched his 4th and 1 podcast and you're an Auburn fan, I highly recommend that you do. I think he's wonderful with it. And boy, he has found his footing after the playing career, and he's luckily got the personality to pull it off.
He does. Let's get to some partners real quick while we're on the show. It's going to be a little bit abbreviated today. We got a busy day meeting with people, so that's a good thing. Sensa Green, for air that's cool and clean, call on Sensa Green. They are the carrier experts here in the state of Alabama, saving you thousands of dollars on new installs. Make sure you check them out if you're looking for a new heating and air unit. Now's the time to do it. Scout Program Management, full construction management firm in Birmingham, Alabama, specializing in educational projects, but they can hook you up on anything that you're looking for. Construction-wise, they'll take you from the pre-construction phase all the way to the finished product, and you want to have that comfort knowing that your project was done correctly. I know about people that have had projects, multi-million-dollar projects that weren't done correctly, and man, it's a mess. And you got to go back and you got to go through a punch list. Scout handles that for you all the way to the end. You don't ever have to worry about it. So call on them in Birmingham, Alabama, and Bunkers in downtown Auburn on West Glen. Can't say enough about Alan and KJ and Wes. Those are the nicest guys in the world. They got a great place to go hang out, have some great food, watch all the different sports that you want to watch there, rent a bay for your friends and your family, have some simulated golf, and then the 2 bars that they have are unbelievable. Plenty of parking spots downtown as well. Check them out. Bunkers there on West Glen. Moving kind of forward on this roster thing, Randy, and we'll wipe out football between me and you. Faith will jump on, and I'll ask her some stuff. The roster, and we talk about it all the time, and you heard Coach Freeze talk about it, and we're going to talk this thing to death. But I brought this up 2 or 3 weeks ago, and everybody was like, and I had some people comment, go, well, we got plenty of – you can never have enough defensive linemen. And I know people are probably tired of hearing me say this, but I'm going to continue to stress this. And now that I glance through YouTube and all over social media, that is the hottest topic right there, is can't have enough depth. Our good friend Jason Caldwell, he talked about it on Monday. It goes back to – it's not that your starters and all aren't good. Everybody's got good starters in the SEC. It's about building depth, man. And you know how brutal it is up front, Randy, in the trenches, especially in this league. Somebody can roll up on you in 2 seconds and you're out. And now who's the guy coming in behind you and who's the other guy coming in? And it's about rotation on the defensive front. And Coach Freeze said it in the post-8A press conference. I'll take as many interior linemen as I can get. I'll add a linebacker that's got some experience, and I'll never turn down a cover guy. That was his quote.
Well, here's my take on the lines of scrimmage. One, I think you've got to build your premier, your top pieces, your Nick Fairleys in recruiting and developing. I just don't think that you're going to go every year on the transfer portal market and pick up a top defensive end or a top interior lineman.
Everybody's looking for those pieces.
Everybody wants those pieces, and you've got to determine whether you're willing to spend the money that's going to get those pieces. I like my chances a lot more on like Falk was last year, and you keep watching the way that he's played. Go to Highland Home, pick up one of the best defensive linemen in the country, who's a top 100 player in high school, and develop him. Right. And then reach into his 3rd year, and you hope that he's an all-SEC and all-American performer. I think that's realistic. What I think Coach Freeze is dead on is you've got to go find a piece to back him up. And you've got to add maybe a couple of pieces to back him up. But I think that's doable now. I really believe that finding the backup pieces in the transfer portal is more doable now than it's ever been, because those guys are at Western Kentucky, and those guys are at UAB, and those guys are at maybe a Jacksonville State wanting to make a major leap up. But they have proven that they've got the motor and they've got the skill set to be productive out there. The more good pieces we can get, it's the reason that you brought Braden Joyner up to start the show this morning. You hate to see one leave. But I think those guys that maybe aren't the starter, maybe aren't the all-SEC performers, are trying to take a leap forward, and Auburn's a great destination for some of them to go, because we still need some backups. We're still kind of just getting started with getting to the level where Alabama and Georgia already are.
Absolutely. And one more thing, Randy, before you step away, linebacker position here. Faith and I'll dive into this too. I mean, if you just want to look at the depth chart right now, you're starting a guy that's a sophomore in DeMarcus Riddick, plenty of talent. But Robert Woodyard has been waiting around. He's your starting middle linebacker, redshirt junior. And at the buck position, you've got Kieron Crawford, he's a senior, but he's a transfer And then you go down through here and it's freshmen and it's redshirt freshmen. And I mean, just a lot of great talent, but a lot of youth, man. So he's right. You go out and pick up a Dorian Mausi or somebody like that to kind of bring that veteran stability to a room like the linebackers.
Well, I think that's doable. I really do. I think that, sorry, my phone's buzzing in on me there, Brett, but I think that that's doable. I think you can find it. And I think that, going and getting somebody that's wanting to take a step up, it's a drastic step up for some of these guys, but Auburn has done a pretty good job of finding pieces to plug and play, the same as Bruce Pearl did the first few years he was with basketball. He went out and found a KT Harrell or somebody like that was able to come in and at least put a positive product out there on the court. So, this is going to be a fun off season. It never ends. It keeps the storylines fresh, and we'll be here to talk about them. Got Faith in here. We got a great interview that I saw that was posted yesterday. I think y'all caught up with the swimming team also. So we've got some of that coming down the line. One thing you'll catch with Auburn Blitz, and I applaud both of your efforts, it's not just going to be football oriented and basketball whenever football season's a little slow. It's going to be every sport that Auburn University puts a good product out there. We're going to cover it. And so make sure to find us on our social media outlets. You'll see those interviews pop along, and y'all are just getting started. I think we'll be just as active as any of the others that you see out there. But I want to thank the others like Jason Caldwell that have been so good to us over the years. You're not going to see a lot of articles written by Brett, I don't think. At least he hasn't told me that he's about to sit down and write any articles. Faith, you may write some articles. I'm not writing any articles. I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know there will be no articles coming out from me. So we'll still talk about some of the articles from others out there, but we'll be covering it as well. Brett, I kind of opened up yesterday that we have bought another sign business out in the Auburn Opelika market. I'll talk about that today. That's Sign Essentials. It's in Opelika, on Opelika Road. It's a perfect mix of some things that we didn't have with our sign group. First off, on this show, they've got 11 years worth of university and school knowledge. They've done a ton of work for Auburn University. Some of that's difficult, routing and lasering and certain things that we necessarily haven't been proficient at over the years. So we've added that. So we'll be doing a lot more in that area, not only for Auburn University, but for other schools around. So we'll kind of extend what we're doing on vehicle and boat routes because we've got 3 more open bay doors that we can fill in. Space has been limited here in Dable, as many wraps as we run through in Dable. So give us a phone call, though, at Lead Marketing Group, 256-825-0197, and we can get you started on any signage project.
Awesome, brother. Appreciate you so much, man.
All right. Enjoy listening to y'all.
All right, buddy.
Bye, Randy.
All right. Welcome in, Faith. What's up? How are you this morning?
Hey, good morning.
Everything good?
All good over here.
Just all good. Sun's out. Everything's great. Getting towards summer. We like it. All right. Diving right in because we got a massively busy day. Randy kind of previewed. We haven't done the swimming interview yet. We're going to do it today. You're going to do it. I'll just be the guy trying to make sure everything is looks good on the backside. But I do want to go back and say that these interviews and Brendan's will be coming out this week with golf, and very impressed with the finished product. I'm going to go ahead and preview that for everybody. You need to get ready to watch this one. It's good. I mean, this was and this was all you, Faith. You took your skills to the edit board and the computer, and I was impressed. I know Justin will be. I'll go ahead and speak for Justin out there. I'm sure he's watching. He'll be impressed with your skills on that.
Yeah, I hope so.
Not that I ever doubted. I was just when you sent it over, I'm like, dang, that's pretty good. So it's really good.
Pretty good. Okay, good.
It's better than
I'm just kidding. No. Yeah, I hope everybody likes it. It was a lot of fun. He's awesome. We were just cutting up right before, and I feel like that really shows on camera that we were having some conversations before. So yeah, we had a ton of fun, and yeah, the whole editing process is it's fun. I actually kind of enjoyed it. So
That's good to
which
hear.
I didn't think I
You're
was
going to be
gonna.
doing a lot more of it.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
So,
Yeah, so I'm excited for everybody to watch it. It'll be coming out. I think what we're going to start doing is it's going to come out at like 2 because of the noon show. It kind of makes
right.
it hard. So I think that's what we're going to start doing is it's going to come out at 2 and it'll be on all of our socials. So make sure you check that.
Absolutely. Keep subscribing, like our stuff. Go, here's the thing. All of you that watch our stuff on Instagram, I look at, you can see the analytics. It's like 10,000 people that watched and 9,990 haven't liked your page. Like, just hit the like button when you go to our page and watch that too. That would help us out a ton while you're there. So, but looking forward to the next edition of On the Front Row with Faith coming up this Friday, tomorrow. Crazy. The end of the week.
I thought it was Wednesday, but it is Thursday. So,
yep. Wednesday. Yep. Today is Thursday, right?
Yeah,
yep. You thought today was Wednesday?
Every day is the same now.
You're going backwards. You're going backwards. You're supposed to be going. Justin sends a text. I'm going to get Faith to start editing some. You're about to open up another business, start editing some wedding videos.
Oh, gosh.
So,
he hasn't seen it, so he doesn't know if it's good or not.
I can tell you he'll like it. I can just tell you. All right, let's dive into some other stuff. Auburn, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, Faith. Emeka Oporium made it official basically while we were on the air yesterday morning. The big 7-footer from Butler Community College in Kansas. What a massive pickup for Bruce Pearl. Major need piece to add to this team. He had some offers from places like Indiana and all, but you and I talked about what he said. He kind of caught up with an interview with 24/7, and he's excited. I think he's got a high ceiling, and he knows what he's coming to. He's going to come here to get developed even more.
Yeah, and I love that he said that his faith in God is a huge part of his life, and asking for his guidance on his decision. And we know Bruce Pearl and the team is very open that it's a faith-based program, and for him to be that's so instilled in him that he wants to make sure that's going to be where he is next. That I think that says a lot about our program at Auburn, and the coaches that we have and what they're really trying to instill into their kids.
Right.
So yeah, him saying that was a huge part of his decision making, and really feeling called to go to BP's team. We've seen what kind of leadership and opportunities open with the Auburn team, the mission trips and those kind of things that they do. So I think that is a huge statement about him and the kind of person he is coming to this team. And we talk about a lot of the time how there's some people don't really think about the person that you're getting. You're just thinking about the athleticism coming from them. And I think this is going to be a really, really good person, but also he comes with a lot of his athleticism.
Yeah, it's a great combination. I think it's, huge that he was open about that part of what you just talked about with his faith and what that did in making him make the final decision to come to Auburn and being in a program that really pushes that. And it's not just important to him, it's important to a lot of kids out there. And
Right.
I love that aspect of it. And, but then on the flip side, you talked about his athleticism. He was the Kansas Junior College Defensive Player of the Year, 9.4 points a game, 8.1 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks. And again, you're playing in JUCO, so yeah, the speed of what he's about to walk into, but it's going to be different. But he'll adjust. And again, the Walker Kessler, Janai Broome, big man development was also a major part of him making the decision. And he talked about that too, didn't he?
Yeah, he even said that he's not the best out there, but like you just said, he said, I can see myself being there because of the type of coaches that have developed certain people like Walker Kessler,
Mhm.
and Janai Broom. So that that the success from those players have really drawn people to be coached by Bruce and his staff. And I think we're really lucky to have all of them and the recruiting that they've been able to do.
You know, he weighs, I think, right at 200. That's a lean guy, man. 7 foot,
Yeah.
and weighing about 200 pounds. But you know, coming out of junior college, and it's no cut on Butler. I don't know much about Butler. I know they have good JUCO programs, but when you come to an SEC program like Auburn, the nutrition, the facilities, the things that you'll have at your fingertips, you're going to put mass on. You're going to get bigger. I mean, look at what Chaney Johnson, how he transformed from one
Right.
year to the next. I mean, you're going to have that, and so he's going to
If
get in
Chad
here.
comes back, I hope he can do that.
Yeah, he needs it. He needs some padding. You mentioned that a few weeks ago, that every time he falls, it's bone on the floor. So it's you got no padding, just skin really there. He needs to add some mass as well. That will help him moving forward with his career too. And so yeah, I mean, weight facility, all of that stuff is a big deal. So, but another big piece, you know. So now Keyshawn Murphy. And then now, you know, adding a much needed 5. I mean, we talked about Keyshawn Murphy, really that stretch 4 player, could drop down to 5 if needed, but Emeka Oporium, maybe adding one more Emeka Oporium type guy. And we just talked about it, and I won't go into depth, but Central Florida's big man got in the portal. I think he's 7'2". And so you got a chance to maybe go after him. You just got his teammate a few weeks ago. So we'll kind of see. Justin said bird legs. No
I just
doubt
want to
about it.
stand next to them. Like, I don't think I've ever stood. I think the tallest person I've ever stood next to is Janai Broom. I don't think
6'10".
I've, yeah, I don't think I've ever stood next to somebody that's 7 foot or 7'2".
I think we'll probably be able to make that happen. We should be able to make that happen.
I want to because I
Right.
feel like I'll look like Sarah next to me.
That's what it'll feel like for sure. So I interviewed Dwayne Brown at Hoover, and he's
Really?
6'11". You know, when me and Maddie went to do the On the Road, I don't think you went on that one. I think
Mm-mm.
it was me. I can't remember where you were, but yeah, I felt like I was the Statue of Liberty holding up the torch, trying to put the microphone in his face. I mean, it was like I needed a step stool, 100%.
Yeah, I just
So
want to stand next to him, see what
I'm
I
sure
look
you'll
like.
be able to pull that off. So, all right, real quick, because we're going to get off because we got a busy day. I talked a little bit about it, and we can dive into this a little bit more tomorrow. But just got to get your head wrapped around some of the pieces that we're going to need in the portal. I know we've talked about defensive line shifting to football now, defensive line, linebacker, but maybe some other positions, and what position groups do we feel really good about that you know, going into the summer and the fall camps that we feel like are strengths of the team. So just kind of just wrap your head around that, Faith, and we'll save a little bit of that for tomorrow. But you know, we all know the obvious stuff, and you know, we'll be adding Ashton Daniels to the mix at quarterback. Didn't see him this spring, but I think he's a really quality third piece to that quarterback room. I really do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think all the positivity that's coming from the quarterbacks that we've seen so far this season, it says a lot about, I think, the difference from kind of the past 2 years that Hugh's been here. So that's a positive, kind of encouraging thing to hear.
Absolutely.
And obviously, we had Hank Brown go and transfer out and
Right.
those kind of things after last season. But I think, again, that just goes in with fitting in with what we already have. And I think him and Walker White knew that they weren't going to get any playing time with the pieces that were coming up. And now that we have the pieces, I think that says a lot of really good things.
I totally agree. 100%. Let's I just said, who was that cat that we saw that went to Purdue at Alabama, Mississippi? I think his name was Ivan Drago. No, I'm just kidding. Massive human being. He made Luke look small, and Luke's 6'4", 6'5", and he looked tiny standing next to that big guy. Can't remember his name though, Justin, but he was a big old guy for sure. It's been a long time ago. All right, let's hit some more of our great partners here on the program. Sure Shot, Faith.
Yeah, Sure Shot is going to be where you're going to want to go get your firearms, apparel, and hunting items all the way up, not all the way, but up to 80. And they sell and trade new and used firearms. They've got different courses for women if you need to learn how to operate a handgun for your safety. They have people that know exactly what they're talking about and courses that they can help you so that you don't have to feel uncomfortable with it. You want to feel confident with it in your hand at all times. So
Absolutely. So give them a call, 256-329-0080. Oliver Ross. Don't make a mess, right?
Party from 20 people to 20,000 people. They are able to take care of your parties, whether it's fraternity party, sorority party, or just a house party, whatever it is that you need. They are certified and licensed bartenders. And when you're having a party, why would you want to do anything other than enjoy the party? That's why you call on Oliver Ross, so that they can take care of the bartending so that you can get back to your party.
That's right. You want to be a good host. You don't want to be worrying about cleaning up messes and making sure you don't run out of stuff. Just let them handle it. So call on Oliver Ross. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook. Old Number One Customs, Faith. We love Old Number One Customs, and Jake, really appreciate him and JFA Blue Plumbing. But, you know, again, you look at interest rates and the way things are, now's the time to upgrade your bathroom, your kitchen, as low as 3.99% APR. And you can go with 0 down, but 3.99% APR, then get in and out of your house in 2 weeks. I mean, who can go in there and remodel a kitchen or bathroom in 2 weeks? We know how long stuff takes. And so make sure you call on the professionals at Old Number One Customs and then JFA Blue Plumbing, Faith.
We've seen what the water does to your shower, your sink, your dog bowls. Why would you want to ingest that when you could go and get a new water system from JFA Blue Plumbing? They are going to be able to take care of you and your family and everybody that uses the water in your house. So if you're not going to want to have that in your showers, the staining that it does in your shower and the dog bowls in your sink, you don't want that in your body. So make sure you call on them. Their number is the easiest one to remember, 844-JFA Blue.
Can't get any easier than that. The whole home water Atlas Duo filter, $15.99. That's a very small amount of money to pay for your health. Let me just say that. So buy that, get them to come in and install it, and you're drinking clean, purified water. Everybody in the house is. Make sure you check them out. Like Faith said, you got to remember that number. It's so easy, 844-JFA Blue. Faith, we got a busy day ahead of us today, so we're going to jump off. Again, we want to thank everybody for being with us this morning. Again, subscribe, pass the word along. A lot of you have already. We continue to grow on that side, but can continue to spread the word. If you like our content, like what we do, I will let Faith in as she always does, and I'll let you just end it for us.
I hope everybody has the best day ever. Be nice, be kind, go do something good. And yeah, have the best day ever.
And a big old
War Eagle.